Welcome students. Today we will study chapter 2 of NCERT. Today topic is potential gradient, the relation between potential gradient, electric field, equipotential surfaces, its properties and the equipotential surfaces due to different charges. How can we draw the equipotential surfaces? Now the first topic is potential gradient. Whenever the word gradient is added to any physical quantity, that means that physical quantity is divided by the distance. For example, temperature gradient, that means temperature is divided by the distance. Velocity gradient, that means velocity is divided by the distance. Similarly, potential gradient means the rate of change of electric potential. Rate of change of electric potential with respect to position, or you can say distance in an electric field. That means potential divided by the distance, that is known as the potential gradient. Ordinarily we can represent it by V upon D, as in the case of the capacitance, or dV upon dr. Now in the numerator there is dV, its SI unit is volt and the distance is SI unit is meter. So the SI unit of potential gradient is voltmeter inverse. Once again, potential gradient, that means potential divided by the distance. In other words, we can say it is the rate of change of electric potential with respect to position or distance in an electric field. Its SI unit is volt meter inverse. Volt means potential, meter means distance, and in the denominator there is a distance, that means meter. When it comes in the numerator, it becomes meter inverse. Now the relation between the potential gradient and the electric field, how these two physical quantities are related with each other. Here it is a charge Q, due to which there is an electric field. It is placed at point O, and at point A a test charge Q naught is placed. The charge Q exerts a force F on Q naught in which direction? In the direction OA, because both are the positive charge. Therefore, the charge Q repels charge Q naught. Now, the work done against this electrostatic force on charge Q naught in moving from A to B. Now, you can see here the displacement is in direction. This is the direction of the displacement, that is dr, and this is the direction of the force in the from left to right direction. The angle between these two vectors is 180. That means the angle between the force and displacement is here equal to 180 degree. Now we can write here, because the distance is small, therefore small work is done in moving the charge. We can see here that work done on Q naught against which force? Against electrostatic force. Electrostatic force. Static force. In which direction it is moving? It is moving from A to B. In moving from A to B. A to B, that means what is the value of the distance? That means dr. Because distance is small, therefore the small work is done in this case. You can say here dw is equal to F dot dr. This is the ordinary formula for the work done. Now this is a dot product. If we extend this one, this becomes equal to F dr cos theta. What is the value of theta here? Because the angle between F and dr is 180 degree. Therefore, the value of theta is 180 degree. How can you determine the value of cos 180? Once again, you can see here cos 180 degree can be right here cos 90 degree plus 90 degree. 90 plus 90, that means it comes in the second quadrant. And when there is 90, cos is converted into the sine, and in second quadrant only sine and cosec are positive, all are negative. Therefore this will be negative. This becomes equal to minus sine 90 degree. And what is the value of minus sine 90? That is equal to minus 1. You can write the value of cos 180 degree directly in the examination. You have not to determine this value separately. So you can get here, after substituting the value of cos 180, the value becomes here dw is equal to f dr, and this sign is minus, it comes outside f. Now the value of work done is equal to dw is equal to minus f dr. This is your equation number 1. You can put the value of f in the terms of electric field and the charge also. When we substitute the value of the force, that means Q naught multiplied by E. Force is equal to electric field and the charge which is placed at that point. That means now the value of work done becomes equal to dw becomes equal to, what is the value of dw? dw is equal to minus f dr. Substituting the value of f, it becomes here minus q naught e dr. As you know, f is equal to qe, and in place of q, there is the value of q naught which is placed at the point A. This is your equation number 1 in this case. Now also from the definition of the potential, you know that V is equal to W upon Q. V is equal to W upon Q, or you can say here W is equal to VQ. Here is dW. Also you can write here dW is equal to Q naught into dV, the small value of the potential. Therefore I have write here dV, potential difference between the points A and B, because the points A and B are close to each other. Therefore the potential difference between them is also very small. That's why it is denoted by dV. Now this is your equation number 2. If we compare these two equations, you can see here left hand side are the same. Therefore right hand side will also be the same. Hence I am writing here from equation number 1 and 2. We get minus q naught e dr is equal to q naught dv. Here q naught and q naught cancels out. Then E becomes here equal to minus dV upon dr. Or you can say electric field can be expressed at the negative gradient of potential. This is the relation between the electric field and potential gradient. In general, we write here, neglecting negative sign, E is equal to V upon R or V upon D, as in the case of the capacitor. You will write here this formula also. So this is the relation between the electric field and the potential gradient. Now you can see here also that electric flux. What is the value of electric flux? In general, we have, if the area vector is placed perpendicular to the direction of the electric field, you can say the surface is placed perpendicular to the direction of the electric field, then what is the value of electric flux? In that case, phi is equal to E ds, where E is the electric field and ds is the small area vector. The angle between these two vectors is 0 degree. Yeah, you can say the area vector and electric field both are parallel to each other, or area is placed perpendicular to the direction of the electric field. Now its SI unit is Newton Coulomb inverse, and its SI unit is meter square. This is the SI unit. SI unit of phi. This one is the first unit, SI unit. But yeah, from this expression E is equal to dV upon dr. So you can see here SI unit of electric field. SI unit of electric field from this equation. This its SI unit is volt and its SI unit is meter, volt meter inverse. We can write it as in this way also. Now substituting the value of E in this term, we will get here SI unit also, SI unit of phi also equal to how much? E, that means volt meter inverse multiplied by meter square, meter raised to the power 2, meter raised to the power minus 1. After simplification, we get here meter. That means volt into meter. This is the SI unit of phi also. Volt into meter, or you can say Newton Coulomb inverse into meter square. Both are the SI unit of electric flux. Similarly, SI unit of electric field is Newton Coulomb inverse as well as volt meter inverse. You can utilize out of these two units anyone. Now the next topic is equipotential surfaces. Equipotential, that means equal plus potential. Equipotential surfaces. Equipotential. Equipotential surfaces. You can write it here also. EQ plus potential on surface. That means a surface at every point of which the value of the electric potential is same. That surface is known as the equipotential surface. In short, I am writing here at every point of this surface, at every point of this surface, the value of potential, electric potential is same. Electric potential is same. Potential is same. From this name you can write it directly. Equipotential on the surface. That means at every point on the surface the value of the potential is the same throughout the surface. Now the equipotential surfaces due to equipotential surfaces due to different charges. Surfaces due to different charges. Due to different charges, you can draw these surfaces different charges. First one is for an isolated charge. For an isolated charge. For an isolated charge. For an isolated. Only single charge is present here. It may be positive or negative. Isolated charge. Charge may be positive as well as negative. Then the equipotential surfaces will be spherical in shape. This is your charge Q. Suppose it is positive. This is your first equipotential surface. Then second point charge, the electric field due to point charge, you know, KQ upon R square. This is your second equipotential surfaces. And as we move away, the distance between the equipotential surfaces increases. You can see here the distance between the equipotential surfaces increases as we move away from the center. These are spherical in shape. Its charge may be positive as well as negative. When the point is close to this point charge, then the surface will be close to each other. As we move away from the charge, the distance between the equipotential surfaces also increases. This one, in this method. Now the next is due to two identical charges. For two identical charges, charges may be positive or negative. For two identical charges, that means either both charges are positive, they are equal, or both charges are negative, equal in magnitude and also in nature, for two identical charges. This is your first charge Q, this is your second charge Q. Then what will be the equipotential surfaces? Both charges are of the same nature. Suppose this is charge Q and this is charge Q. Both are the positive charge in nature. Then you know that the like charges repel each other. Here the equipotential surfaces are in this manner. You can see here in this manner, this one, this one. You know the charges, this one. Now the second equipotential surface you can draw here, this in this manner, spherical, but this charge is not at the center. Here the surfaces are close, here the surfaces are further apart from each other due to the repulsion between the like charge. You can see here. This one is second one. Now the third one you can draw in this manner also. 3 are sufficient for you. This one. Here the equipotential surfaces are close to each other and further apart on the right side. This one. You can see this one also. So these are the nature of the equipotential surface. These are the nature of the equipotential surfaces for the identical charges. Here they are close to each other and here they are farther apart, here farther apart, here they are close to each other. For an electric dipole, electric dipole. How can you show this charge? Electric dipole. In electric dipole, you know there are two equal and opposite charges. So this is your first charge, this is your positive charge, suppose, and this is your negative charge, suppose. Now the equipotential surfaces are close here because they attract each other and further apart from this one. Just opposite that of the previous case. This is your first charge, this is your second charge. Here they are close to each other in this manner, close to each other in this manner. Now they are further apart here and close there, right hand side, close, here left hand side, close, and these are further apart from each other. You can draw 3 equipotential surfaces. I have drawn here 3 equipotential surfaces. In this manner you can draw it. This one. Here they are close to each other, here they are further apart to each other. In this manner you can draw the equipotential surfaces for an electric dipole. Now for a uniform electric field, how can you draw it? For uniform electric field. For uniform electric field. Uniform electric field. How can you draw it? Now suppose uniform electric field, it is along this direction. This is along x-axis, suppose x-axis. Then the equipotential surfaces will be the planes parallel to YZ axis, YZ plane. This is your YZ plane. This one, these are the equally spaced. Suppose that means for the uniform electric field, this one. Surfaces are equally spaced. This one, this distance, and the third one, all the distances are the same. Distances does not vary between the equipotential surface when the electric field is uniform. And this is the equipotential surface for uniform electric field. This is the equipotential surface for the uniform electric field. You can draw all the other also in this manner. This is the electric field, perpendicular electric field to the equipotential surface. This equally spaced. This is first equipotential surface, second, third. This is the direction of electric field along which x direction? Along x-axis. Then equipotential surfaces will be equally spaced. And in which direction? Plane parallel to YZ plane. Suppose If the electric field is along y-axis, you must take y-axis in this direction. This is your y-axis. Then these are the planes. And here the planes are x, y. Already y is here, x, z. Then the equipotential surfaces are equally spaced. Okay, so in which direction? And the plane which plane? Parallel to xz plane, xz plane, x, y, z. Now this is the uniform electric field. If the electric field is increasing, then what will happen? The distance between them will be decreases. If the electric field is decreasing, then the reverse will be the case. Okay. Now the properties of equipotential surfaces. Properties of equipotential surfaces. Properties of equipotential surface. Equipotential surface. First property is that of the definition. At each point the value of the potential is the same. This is your first property. V is equal to same throughout the surface. Throughout the surface. This is your first property. And the second property is that potential difference between 2 points on the equipotential surface is 0. Why it is 0? Suppose this is a portion of the equipotential surface and this is the point A, this is the point B. At this point potential is VA, at this point potential is VB. As per definition, these two potentials are equal. Then what is the value of the potential difference? VA minus VB, that becomes equal to 0. So the second case is here. The potential difference between any 2 points on the equipotential surface is 0. Third point, no work is done. W is equal to 0. In moving a charge on equipotential surface, on this surface. This surface means equipotential surface. No work is done. You know delta V is equal to potential difference W upon Q naught. Suppose Q naught charge is moved. This implies that W is equal to delta V Q naught. From the second, delta V is equal to 0. Putting delta V is equal to 0, we get here 0. That means the value of the work done becomes equal to 0. No work is done in moving a charge on this surface. Number fourth property, that is also a very important property. Electric field is always perpendicular. Fourth property is that E is perpendicular to equipotential surface. Equipotential surface. Equipotential surface means a line segment lying on the equipotential surface. Suppose this is a portion of the equipotential surface. This is your point A, this is your point B, and this distance is equal to dl. Then you can say E is perpendicular to dl. You have to prove this. Now the work done in carrying a charge Q naught from A to B, you know here W is equal to F dot dl. We don't know the angle between the force and dl. Now you can write it here. W is equal to F dl cos theta. Theta is the angle between these two vectors. Now in place of F, you can write here Q naught E, where E is the value of the electric field and Q naught is the charge which is moving from point A to B. Q naught E dl cos 0. And work done, third point, this is equal to 0. No work is done in moving a charge on equipotential surface. That now Q naught cannot be equal to 0. E cannot be equal to 0. dl cannot be 0. Then which factor must be equal to 0? Because the right hand side is 0. Left hand side is 0. Therefore, right hand side must be equal to 0. Neither Q naught 0 nor E 0 nor dl 0. This implies that cos theta is equal to 0. This implies that cos theta is equal to cos 90 degree. That means theta is equal to 90 degree, or you can say in other words E is perpendicular to dl. This way. An electric field is perpendicular to the equipotential surface. First property is that the value of the potential is the same throughout the surface. Second property is that potential difference is always equal to 0 because at every point value of the electric potential is equal. Number third property means no work is done in moving a charge on equipotential surface. And the fourth property is that electric field is always perpendicular to equipotential surface because dl lies on the equipotential surface. Now the last one property is that fifth property you know from E is equal to minus dV upon dr. This is your potential. You can see here, this is your potential. It is constant. E is directly proportional to dr. If dr decreases, this implies that E increases. If dr increases, this implies that E decreases. What is dr? Dr is the separation between the equipotential surfaces. If the equipotential surfaces are close to each other, that means in that region electric field is strong. If the equipotential surfaces are farther apart, then the electric field between them is weak. For the weaker electric field, the equipotential surfaces are further apart. For the strong electric field, the equipotential surfaces are close to each other. That is the end of today's work. You must revise this work in your copy, write properly, draw diagram and practice it. This is your assignment. Okay, thank you. Bye.